So many of you have probably been seeing the recent hype that has been around these SPAC stocks. One in particular, CCIV. Now yes, there has been some good news about CCIV as well as some bad that has really caused a lot of investors to run away from CCIV. But can CCIV win these investors back? What is CCIV's plans for the future? Well, I'm going to be discussing that in this video, along with recapping an interview that the CCIV CEO, Peter Rawlings, did with Jim Kramer on Mad Money yesterday. I'll also be recapping how CCIV Lucid Air Dream Edition vehicle drives on the open road its first time on the road. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that as well. But before I get into that, I need you all to do me one big favor. I mean, come on, it's just one favor. And that's pound that like button. I mean, it really helps this channel out. And then I need you all to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this on investing, saving, stocks, dividends, money, credit, and just personal finance overall. I'm Lorenzo James, and you all are now watching The Handsome Investor. What's going on, everyone, and welcome back, handsome investors. And I know we aren't having another green week in the stock market. As we wait to hear what Jerome Powell has to say about the threat of inflation rates, this could really affect if we see our stock prices go up or we continue to see them drop. But I mean, what I always like to say is when we see red days like this, that means it's stocks on clearance, baby. It's time to go shopping. And one stock in particular that a lot of people have been discussing about going shopping for is CCIV, the company that will be merging with Lucid Motors later on this year when that merger is completed. Now, a lot of people do not like the way that CCIV handled their merger announcement. A lot of people feel bamboozled, hoodwinked, led astray. And I can understand that feeling. I mean, there were a lot of rumors to what the evaluation would be, but there weren't any confirmations as of yet. But buying into those rumors, we all raised the stock price of CCIV, but then we found out they were actually evaluating themselves at a different evaluation of $24 billion, which then caused the stock price to drop all the way to $40 per share as they tried to use that time to raise more money from their PIPE investors. But can CCIV and Lucid Motors actually bounce back from all this debacle? They actually even said that they're delaying the release of their Air Dream Edition until the second quarter, so we'll no longer be getting that Air Dream Edition in the first quarter as promised before the merger announcement. So do we think that CCIV will actually be able to win back their customers? Do we think that CCIV is still even a company that should be compared to Tesla? Well, we're going to discuss what Jim Kramer thinks as he interviewed the CEO of CCIV, Peter Rawlings, yesterday on Mad Money, and he actually got to ride in the Lucid Air Dream Edition vehicle. So let's hear what he has to say as we tune into what Jim Kramer has to say on Mad Money's episode yesterday. So guys, let's actually tune in and let's hear what Jim Kramer has to say on yesterday's episode of Mad Money when he interviewed the CEO of Lucid Motors, Peter Rawlings.
Look, I've been warning about the SPAC attack for months, especially in the electric vehicle space. But some of these SPAC names are actually worth buying in weakness. Take Churchill Capital 4. That's a special purpose acquisition vehicle that's merging with Lucid Motors. That's an up-and-coming Tesla rival that plans to start producing its gorgeous cars in the second half of the year. This one's got two things going for it. Lucid Motors is a legitimate company that will soon have an actual product to sell. I saw it for myself yesterday and was wowed. Plus, Churchill Capital stock has come down a lot. It surged to around 65 before we knew the terms of the deal by inaccurate news stories about the company's intentions. I think the stock's very enticing at these levels. Don't take it from me. Let's dig deep with Peter Rawlings, the CEO and Chief Technical Officer of Lucid Motors, to find out where this story's headed. Mr. Rawlings, and welcome back to Mad Money.
Okay, so already in the introduction, we can see that he's extremely bullish on Lucid Motors and CCIV. Extremely bullish on Lucid Motors. Now, he did say that he was able to see the vehicle yesterday, so that is big. That could explain why he's so bullish on it, because he actually was able to interact with the vehicle, ride in it, feel the vehicle, actually touch the vehicle, see how the vehicle actually looks up close and personal, and actually see how the vehicle actually performs. So maybe that's why he's so bullish. But let's just keep in mind that as soon as this started, he's already very bullish on Lucid Motors and CCIV. Which, why are you so bullish? Let's have a little bit of objective here.
Great to be with you, Jim.
All right, so Peter, I took a ride. Get one. When can I get one? Because this is the most exciting technology delivery machine I've come across in years.
Thank you so much. And we're nearly sold out of Dream Edition. We've just got a few reservations left. And our run of 500s very nearly. So following a Grand Touring version, and our order book is filling very nicely. So roll up, or you're missing out on Dream Edition.
Well, look, I got to tell you, I'm not sure exactly what speed I went, and
So it's almost sold out already. So that's something to pay attention to as investors in CCIV, that they are already creating revenue. Their pre-sales are already almost sold out for their Air Dream Edition, according to Peter Rawlings, the CEO of CCIV and Lucid Motors. Well, CEO of Lucid Motors, that is.
oh, and how we slowed down and spun around. Maybe just tell us how quickly, because some sort of technology that does not offer that. We often have batteries that go long, and the performance is awful. You got them both, right? That's what I saw yesterday.
Indeed, Jim, and we've got this unique fusion, this blend of performance and range, and we achieve that through our in-house battery pack, a motor, transmission, inverter, and a Wonderbox and the software that glues all that together. That's all in-house, it's all proprietary, and we have incredible efficiency, and that gives performance and range.
You're talking about quick 0 to...
Indeed, and versions of Lucid Air will achieve over...
Okay, we got a little skip there, so let's rewind that back. So we can
quick 0 to...
Indeed, and versions of Lucid Air will achieve over
that's CNBC.
500 miles range on an estimated EPA cycle.
Now, I know that you said you're almost sold out of everything. If I were to pay $170,000 for a Lucid Air, when would I be able to get mine?
Plants in Casa Grande in Arizona.
Okay, there are a lot of...
I know that you said you're almost sold out of everything. If I were to pay $170,000 for a Lucid Air, when would I be able to get mine?
Plants in Casa Grande in Arizona.
So it looks like there is some mess. There's some messing up with the feed on CNBC. This is not on my end. There's some skipping. When he asked them when could he get the vehicle, we getting some skipping. So this right now, I need to know, CNBC, are we going to fix this? Is this going to be a problem? Are we going to continue to see this on? I need to know, because this is some important information that we should be getting.
Second half of 21, so very soon now.
Yeah.
Okay, so he said the second half of 2021. So he's staying consistent on actually releasing this vehicle in the second half of 2021. Now, he did delay it already from the first half of 2021, the first quarter, and now he's saying the second half. So is that the second half of 2021? Is it the second quarter? Is it the third quarter? Is it the fourth quarter? Because it is the second half. So we need to know, because you did say the second quarter, and now you're saying the second half. So that's just something to pay attention to. Remember, previously when he delayed, he said it would be delayed until the second quarter of 2021. Now he's saying the second half of 2021. So is that the third quarter? Is that the fourth quarter? Are we pushing it back even further now? This is something we need to pay attention to. That was some trickery in his wordplay.
I think it's important, just in terms of being in our great country. There are a lot of factories that get built, and maybe there's 200 people in it. There's almost no new greenfield factory.
We've got a great team of associates working there. We're giving them high-tech, great jobs in a great working environment, and we're bringing jobs and employment in high-tech auto industry to the state of Arizona.
So as you can see, it says that Lucid's AMP1 facility has the capacity to produce 34,000 vehicles annually, and that's without the expansion. Now, they plan on expanding that facility to be able to produce 400,000 vehicles by the end of Phase 3, which they said will be completed by 2025. So that's something to pay attention to. But they are planning to expand their facility. But currently, at the facility they have now, CCIV and Lucid Motors do have their own manufacturing facility where they manufacture their vehicles. And they'll be able to manufacture 34,000 vehicles in a manufacturing facility in Casa Grande, Arizona.
We've already got several hundred people employed, and we're already planning for our Phase 2 of that plant, the expansion, which we'll implement in 2023, which will take us to a capacity of over 85,000 units per annum. When we bring in the SUV Project Gravity,
understand that unlike a competitor that a lot of people worried about for years and years, the money that you have right now will get you to that expansion that you're talking about.
Indeed, this is an amazing outcome from our merger process with Churchill Capital.
You're welcome. I think he should thank us all. He should thank each and every one of us from CCIV who was able to raise that money for you. So you're welcome.
Array of blue chip investors.
It would be nice if you thanked us all with some Lucid Dream editions. Hey, since it's the most expensive one, you can send me a Pure. I'll be fine. $69,000 edition to Lucid Air Pure 2022, right? Did we get first quarter? You can send one of those this way.
And that really secures the future of Lucid. And I mean, this is very interesting because that competitor was only able to secure several hundred million at IPO, and it meant that it had to really look for fresh injections of capital, many times three. We can implement phase 2 of the factory in Arizona. We can add, more than 2,500 hourly and salaried manufacturing employees. We can bring all 4 trim levels of Lucid Air into production, built, and a lot of testing under our belt. And then there's the sales and service and R&D activities that we have got a very clear runway with the security of funding. We're in a very, very healthy position.
You and I both know that the internal combustion engine is a dinosaur.
Okay, so what it looks like is they're planning on beginning the phase 2 expansion in 2023. They're implemented in 2023, and by then they'll be able to release 85,000 vehicles, he said. Now, I don't know if that's going to do it. Now, yes, that is in 2 years, and in 2 years, I mean, if NIO is able to ship 80,000 vehicles this year, it's not going to do it. They're going to have to pick up the pace. They're going to have to pick it up faster. I think phase 2 is going to have to move a lot quicker. I think they're going to have to get to that 100,000 vehicle price point a lot sooner. I think by 2023 they should be producing at least 100,000 vehicles if they really want to be a major player in the EV market.
Would Lucid have problems selling cars if the great Apple came in?
Well, there's always room for new entries, and don't let's underestimate the market, because this isn't a market for EVs. There's no such thing as an EV market. This is a market for cars, that world market for cars. So I'd welcome the competition from a company like Apple, but ultimately, this is a technology race. Tesla recognizes that, and Lucid recognizes that. And I think that's what differentiates so many of the traditional car companies. They buy parts off the shelf, they take a commodity, design, engineer, and manufacture. Vertically integrate your core IP. Only Tesla does that today.
Well, and I was privileged to be one of the first people to ever ride in one. And it was the most, I would say, probably the most exciting thing's happened to me in many, many years. Peter Rawlings, it's a joy to have you.
Yeah, Jim, thank you so much.
What can I say? All right, I called it maybe the next Tesla. A lot of people criticized me on Twitter. You know what? I'll reiterate. It could be the next Tesla. May advice back here.
Okay, so you heard what Jim Kramer said. It could be the next Tesla. Let's discuss my opinion on it. But before we actually discuss my opinion on the Lucid Air Dream Edition and this actual interview on Mad Money with Jim Kramer, let's actually go watch Peter Rawlings and as he actually drives the Lucid Air Dream Edition on the open road for the first time. And let's get his experience and let's recap that as well.
Leaving the building now, heading out on the road. First driving this car, super exciting. We're going to head up to Skyline and test the car through the mountains. And we've got some really twisty sections, which will be the perfect proving ground for the vehicle dynamic.
I must say the car does look nice. This car does look appealing. It is a very, very attractive vehicle.
I'm really looking forward to this. Here we head west across San Francisco Bay.
Beautiful.
Impressed by the blend
interior,
of
beautiful.
regen as it's coming in by the traffic lights there.
Looks like it's smooth.
Beginning to get nice. We recently upped the regen from 0.25G to 0.3 in sports setting, which I personally prefer quite a lot. Fantastic primary ride quality on this pitchy type of surface. We dialed out a lot of the pitch sensitivity, and that's come really good. Hitting in the 50s of miles an hour. The car's hardly even. It's at a trot, not a canter. Super isolated ride quality. I wanted this vault-like experience from an electric car that no one's really perfected yet. And this is the basis for it. Shattering performance.
I can say that he does have a voice that makes this just sound very attractive. Like his smooth, just sleek tone just makes the car just sound a little bit more attractive. This is just my opinion. Maybe it's just my opinion.
Compact and agile. This car's as much a sports car as a sedan. Terribly testing surfaces here, great. single wheel inputs, great body control, and you get this left-right jitter inputs that can really create shake. You've got exceptional body stiffness. It's really nice. Really pleased with that. Just a little bit of judder on the hill hold. We need to work on the software, just on that modulation of the torque. And that's the point. We can improve on that. We're heading out into driver's country. And we're going past the iconic Bucks Cafe here. Some of my earliest days with the company when we were called Ativa. We're out meeting folk at Bucks, interviewing some of the early candidates who were about to join our team.
Looks good.
Suspension tuning team have done a fantastic.
It says silent, very silent. Sounds good. I love silent cars, so the fact that it's silent is already attracting me.
Job with us. I'm noticing around the 0 up to 2 miles an hour, you need to finesse that whole feedback loop from accelerator to torque command. Still in heavy traffic, impossible to unleash the capability of the car here. But it's nice and taut, experiencing a whole range of different surfaces. Very pleased with the whole ride quality and the suppleness of the suspension. That's great. We've tested that thoroughly. I've tested that before. And this is every bit as good as the prototypes. The road is about to get more interesting. We're getting great steering feedback here as we head up through the hills. The turning response is phenomenal. The body composure. This is a complete machine. Nice off feedback.
Okay, well, is there anything wrong with it at all? I mean, why isn't it out yet?
As well. I'm liking it a lot. Really getting into it. I'm really nuts about steering feel. This is coming nicely. It's unlike any other car I've ever driven. It really is. It's taking it to a whole nother level.
Is that it?
Thank you. Well, it's pre-production now. Almost there, yeah. It's just come out of the factory last week from Arizona. Thank you so much. I hope you like it. It's my baby. It's got 1,000 horsepower.
Okay, guys. I'm just gonna stop it right there because I'm just gonna speak for me. I can't speak for anyone else. I can't tell you what to do, but I do not believe this reaction. I do believe that this is a stage reaction. I do not believe that someone just randomly stopped him and he, the CEO of Lucid Motors, stopped and discussed his new vehicle, the Air Dream Edition, just randomly. So no, I'm not gonna continue, but this is how the vehicle actually performs. Let's discuss it. So now that we've seen what Jim Kramer thinks after interviewing the CEO of Lucid Motors, Peter Rawlings, and riding in the Lucid Air Dream Edition, as well as seeing the test drive for the Lucid Air Dream Edition, do I think that CCIV is a stock that we should be buying into now? Or is this a stock that's just going to continue to fall and never recover? Well, currently at the price that it is currently right now, under $30 per share, or even at $30 per share, I think that CCIV is a buy. Now, I think that this is a buy as a long-term investment and not as a short-term play or as a swing trade. I don't think that you'll be able to make some immediate tendies because it's extremely volatile, and we could see some more decreases in CCIV stock price before we actually see it head to the moon, if it does head to the moon. But I do think that we will see some growth in the long term. I do believe in the Lucid Air Dream Edition vehicle. I do like this vehicle a lot. I like the look of this vehicle. The test drive in this vehicle looks like it's a very smooth, sleek vehicle. It looks like it's an EV vehicle that many people are going to enjoy. It looks like it could very well be a competitor to Tesla. Now, we have to see if they are able to actually complete the expansion on their facility. Now, they did say they don't plan on implementing expansion until 2023. And that's because that is when they actually plan on producing their Gravity SUV edition. So that kind of makes me skeptical as an investor in CCIV moving forward, but I am still bullish on CCIV as a long-term investment because I do believe that this Lucid Air Dream Edition, this Lucid vehicles as a whole, is just going to be a major player in the EV market. They have their own manufacturing technology. As you heard, they have their own engineers, their own technology. They're licensing everything themselves. They're doing everything in-house. And I think that's going to be big for a company. They don't have to spend money elsewhere to get products done, to get anything done for their brand. And I think that's going to help them a lot moving forward. I also think that once they start releasing vehicles, they'll be able to bring in some revenue, which will then attract more shareholders in the future. I think once they're able to release the Air Dream Edition in the second quarter, Well, now it's in the second half of the year. That was some negatives. We'll discuss the negatives in a second. But now that they'll be releasing it in the second half of the year, I think that's going to be big once they are able to actually start releasing those vehicles. When they actually start releasing the other Lucid Air editions as well, the Grand Touring, the Air Grand Touring, and the basic model, the Pure Edition, I think that's going to bring in extreme revenue as well. And that will help push up CCIV stock price in the future, which will probably be Lucid Motors by then when those vehicles are released. Now let's discuss some of the negative takeaways. Now what I didn't like is when he discussed the delays of the Lucid Air Dream Edition, he actually said he didn't plan on releasing these until the second half of 2021. And that was a problem for me. Because before this interview, it was actually discussed that it would be released in the second quarter, no longer the first quarter. Now the second half makes me think that you actually are delaying it even further and don't plan on releasing this vehicle until possibly the third or even the fourth quarter. And that's going to be detrimental for us as shareholders because we'll continue to see the stock price drop until they can actually get a vehicle out that can actually bring in some revenue. So that is a negative for us. Another negative for me was that they don't plan on implementing expansion until 2023. And when they do implement that expansion, they will only be expanding to ship out 85,000 vehicles. Now that I don't think is going to do it. I think for them to really be a real player in the EV market, especially with Tesla already shipping 500,000 vehicles, they're on their way to shipping 1 million. I'm sure by 2023 they'll be shipping out 1 million vehicles per year. I don't think that 85,000 vehicles per year is going to cut it. We have NIO right now who's on the way to shipping out. They shipped out 43,000 last year. They want to ship out 20,000 per quarter to ship out 80,000 for the year. If they can do that this year, then that 85,000 vehicles is just not going to cut it for Lucid Air, and we're going to have to see an extreme rapid increase in how fast they actually get this expansion done if they really want to be a major player in the EV market. So that's another negative takeaway that I took from this. Now, please keep in mind when watching this video that I myself am not a financial advisor and none of this information is financial advice. I'm just a guy who is interested in CCIV, who loves stocks, and to give you the information. But I still advise everyone when watching this video to do their own research before investing into any stocks today. But if you are thinking about getting started investing today, then don't forget to click the link in my description to sign up for Coinbase, where you'll get $10 worth of free Bitcoin just for using the link in my description today. And then you can sign up for Weeble, where you get 2 free stocks that can be valued up to $1,600 after funding your account with $100 or more. And then if you want, you can sign up for Robinhood and get another free stock that can be valued up to $500. But then you can go ahead and sign up for M1 Finance. And M1 Finance will actually give you $30 after you deposit $100 to help you get started investing today. And then after all that, you can go ahead and pound that subscribe button for all that free money that I'm giving you today. So, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like this every week on investing, saving, stocks, dividends, money, credit, and just personal finance overall, then you know what to do. And if you don't, then I'll leave it right over there for you. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all again in the next video. I'm Lorenzo James, and this is The Handsome Investor.